What's good, guys, and welcome to today's video. We're gonna get straight in and working onto the Miata. The first thing I wanna do is push this thing out, and we're gonna pressure wash everything in the engine bay, hit everything over with some purple power, and try and get this thing looking way cleaner. I'm sick of touching it and getting filthy dirty. Like this is just not happening. All right, so we're gonna clean that, and then we're gonna get to putting this engine on the stand, and then we got to replace all the gaskets. I actually have a whole bunch of new ones. Let me go grab them. All of these here, we got the front main seal, we got the cam seals, we've got the sump seals, the valve cover seals, and we obviously got the new, which is like a special black RTV meant for dealing with oil, and that goes for the majority of the part around the sump and helps seal that as well. So that's what we'll do after we clean this. Let's get into it. This is apparently what happens when you put purple power in a foam cannon. It actually like seems to be doing a really good job just being able to get it everywhere in one hit instead of just sitting there spraying the bottle non-stop. You're gonna let this soak, and then we'll hit it with the pressure washer and get this thing looking mint. Far out. It's actually like you can just see all the grease and stuff coming off in the foam going down. It's crazy. Look at that. She thick, boys. So I just finished pressure washing everything in the engine bay, and look at this subframe. No grease or grime or anything like that there. Very happy about that. So now that while that's drying and aside, we're gonna go and put the engine up on the hoist now, and I'm gonna pull the engine out here, and I'm gonna degrease and pressure wash that as well, because I just don't like working on filthy things. It's gonna make my job so much easier as well. There's just grime and grease all over this thing, so it'll be much nicer once we clean that up. So I've got to take the clutch and flywheel off, put it on this engine stand. Hopefully we've got bolts for it, and then we'll pressure wash the crap out of it, and then start replacing all those gaskets. So I just pulled the flywheel and clutch and everything off, and discovered that our new rear main had failed from the moment I put it in and started leaking oil again, which super sucks. But luckily we did decide to pull the engine because of the broken bolts and studs in the oil pan and all the other seals we wanted to do. So it just add another seal to the list, and because it's brand new, AutoZone will replace that for free. So I'll go take that back to AutoZone now and get a new one before they close. But we're pretty much now ready for me to lift this back up on the hoist or the cherry picker and then put it on the engine stand. So let's get this happening. A pretty big progress update. We got the engine on the hoist, ready to take this thing out and degrease it. I did go to AutoZone really quickly on the Sur-Ron, and I was able to get a brand new rear main, which I've already installed, so that should be all good. But I'm just keen to get this thing clean and start tearing things off. We've got to rip off the exhaust manifold. I need to work out what I'm doing with AC, and then we'll just start doing gaskets everywhere, flip this thing upside down, figure out what's going on with the sump, and I'll show you what's going on. Let's go. We got this puppy all nice and clean now. We're gonna let it sit out in the Florida sun, get it nice and dry. But this thing cleaned up so well. Pretty keen to get my hands on this thing now and get those gaskets switched out. We need to do something with this valve cover. I don't know if we're gonna get it powder coated or something, but it needs to be like fully sandblasted, and it's just, I don't know, it's some weird paint that was on here on top of paint, and it's all peeling off and stuff. I'm thinking of maybe doing like a really nice pink valve cover, like a Yashio factory kind of candy pink. So if anyone knows any powder coaters that can do something like that that's close by, please hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. But for now, we'll let this thing dry and pick it up from there. Engine's back inside. It's nice and dry. Let's rip into this and make it great again. I've been working on this for the last hour or so with a razor blade and a little bit of sandpaper in some cases to try and get all of the gasket goop off the top of this head where the valve cover connects to it. It's been a real ordeal. Like, this is the cam cap here, and you can just see how much is still on that, and I've gone over that with a razor blade so many times. This stuff was like gooped up everywhere. It was honestly insane. There's just like gasket stuff everywhere in this trash can. So I got a lot more to go. Obviously we just popped off the old cam seals and they're shot. Like you can actually see like wear marks and stuff around them. It's kind of crazy. So we got new ones of those going in, and get this thing all freshened up here. We got to obviously pull off the pulley and everything as well, which is why I didn't really care about just taking the cam gears off and leaving the timing belt like that, because obviously we got to retime the engine anyways, because I got to do front main. So we're making a bit of progress. We'll get the new cam seals in, and I'll probably flip this motor around, and then we'll try and get the sump off and work on that as well. Oh boy. So we just got the oil pan off, and this is nasty. I was not expecting it to be this bad. Look at all this RTV. It is just disgusting. It's all in the bottom of the oil pan. Like, it's insane. You can even see some old RTV on the pickup, which is great. I'm so glad we decided to do this, because all this RTV is just a disaster and a spun bearing waiting to happen. It's everywhere, man. Like the windage tray was so RTV'd on. I had to like spend 30 minutes with a razor blade just to try and separate the windage tray from the oil pan, because this is kind of like sandwiched against there. And yeah, I kind of bent the sides of it a bit, but we'll be able to bend that back out straight. Won't be a problem. We're gonna get the pickup off. I'm gonna razor blade and get all the, look at this. Look at this old RTV everywhere, man. This is gross. Man, this is disgusting. I don't care who you are, you never RTV the crap out of things like this. Like, look at all the RTV on the side of the oil pickup tube from them trying to get the sump on with all that goop on there before. It's just disgusting and it's unnecessary. Like, there is no justification for using this much RTV when a gasket for a sump and everything is literally only like 15, 20 bucks. I'm sorry, but like, you'd spend that much in just the RTV to put this stuff on. It's ridiculous. Anyways, that aside, we're gonna keep cleaning things up as we go along. I just realized though, I can't actually seal everything up tonight, because I want to send the valve cover off to get sandblasted and then powder coated, and we need to drill and weld a fitting into the sump. So there's no point putting all of this back together tonight, but there is a point in being able to clean and get everything ready. We can take the pulley off, do the front main as well still, and just do everything we can that we're not waiting for. So yeah, we definitely need to hold off on sealing up the sump, because you do still need to use some RTV, but not that amount of RTV. Far out. What do you think? Too much RTV? Way too much RTV? Not enough RTV?
I did an oil pan gasket on my car. It was just literally the balloon seals. I put a little bit on, and the rest of it's RTV.
Yeah, that's it. But not like this, right?
No.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like a bead across there. That's it. Yeah. Not, jeez, it's everywhere. Man, this is kind of freaking me out. I may be overreacting here. I don't know. You guys in the comment section tell me if you've seen this before. I have never seen this much RTV ever used. Like, look at this. It's so thick there. It's like, ugh. Anyways, all right, quit complaining. Let's clean this up with a razor blade, and then we are going to do the front main. Jeez, what is this? Hang on. $10 if you lick it. No! Oh, you regretted that instantly. I ain't giving you $10, sorry. All right. Now, everything on this engine has been terrible, right? Nothing's gone according to plan.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that this pulley is going to be easy to come off and it won't need to pull. No!
Dang.
No!
That's crazy.
Yes!
That's crazy.
That's so good. It just come off by hand. Yeah.
Usually there's sometimes a pain. Sometimes.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Wiggle back and forth and it'll slide off.
Hell yeah. Dude, the keyway looks good too. Very happy. There's a lot of oil here in a lot of places. Yeah, there's just like look at this, guys.
Yeah, you're
Hang on.
Oh god.
This is definitely pretty gross. Like, what is this? Is this more RTV?
I think so.
Gosh. It's everywhere. Dude, I got something for you to live. The RTV in this engine never ends. It's like the whole thing was literally held together with RTV. It's kind of gross. Alright, we're gonna take the timing cover off and stuff. But we got that off. I'm very happy about that. Now I can take out the front main and do that as well, which is tiny. It looks like a cam seal.
Yeah, it's little, yeah.
So we'll pull that out, that's been leaking too. But as you can see, we've gone and cleaned all of these surfaces with a razor blade. I'm gonna go over it with a little whiz wheel just to try and get the last residue of it out.
I have steel wool. It's
oh, that'll work too.
yeah.
Also, here are 2 snapped off studs, bolts in the sump. And then over here, I don't know if he just didn't have any bolts to put in them, but they're full of RTV and you can't get a bolt in them. So I don't know if the threads are ruined and we need to re-tap it or what, but there were 3 bolts on this side that were missing, and there were 2 snapped off studs on this side. So yeah, actually no, there was 3 on both sides. Yeah.
Really?
3 bolts on both sides. And half of them were even just loose, like finger tight.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably because there's too much RTV.
So much RTV when you tightened it, and when everything set, it contracted and everything was loose.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna work on getting these studs out. I'm gonna get the welder out and weld some nuts on those. Maybe Alex will be cameraman for me for that.
For sure.
That started. And then, man, I'm happy because we're making moves and we're getting this thing.
Progress.
Like, could you imagine if I just slapped a turbo on this and just sent it and left it? It would have died. 100% would have gotten rod knocked. There was RTV in the pickup everywhere. All right, so let's get these studs out, replace the front main, and get going.
Yes, sir.
I'm so glad Chris got a welder because I have no idea how I'd get these out. All right, so now we got a couple beads on there. What we're gonna do is slip one of these nuts over it, and then we'll fill in the bead, the nut, and then we should be able to extract the bolt. There we go.
Just hammer down.
She's glowing, boys. Now, if I get this 10 mil, out she comes.
Sheesh.
That's so easy, right?
I love how it does that. Is it actually out?
Yeah, it's out. It's out.
Oh.
It's just the socket's stuck in here.
Yeah.
Here she is. Here she is. Ready? Oh, look at that. That is how you get a stud out that's snapped off, guys. So even if it's stuck and it's flush in there, so you can see with this one here, I've already got some beads on there. So we're gonna slip a nut over that, and then I just need to fill in the nut with the welder, and then we can bull that one out as well. So a little bit of an update. I've been going through the tap and die kit on every single one of these sump bolt holes. This one we couldn't get out with the welder. It's really stubborn. We're gonna have to drill that out and probably tap and die it. But this is what I'm dealing with. As I thread the tapping kit into these holes, this is all RTV just being forced out. So in some of these holes that had no bolts in them whatsoever, they were just completely full of RTV. So I've had to hit them a fair few times. But we're getting there slowly but surely. So it looks like so far the only ones was broken studs is this one and this one that we got that one out. That one's not coming out. So we'll deal with that in a bit. And these 2 ones, I'm not sure if they're stripped or what yet because they're still full of RTV, but once we get those out and run the tap through them, we'll know for sure. But yeah, it's kind of going a lot slower than I was hoping to today. But that's just because the more and more, you know, we kind of dove in, we ran into more problems with the RTV and the other things that we wanted to fix at the same time that we discovered. So, you know, it's a progress, and I'm just happy that we're going through and doing all this now because it's going to make everything so much more reliable in the long run. And now that we're talking about making this thing reliable, I guess I should probably talk about the giveaway. If you haven't gotten your entries yet to win the Miata, make sure you head to summit.net/shop and get yourself some 6 stickers. Pretty much every 500 yen, which is about $4.30 US, equals 1 entry. So go nuts, get as many as you can. It's for the United States only, not including Alaska and Hawaii. Sorry guys. Also, a lot of people have been asking about Canada. No, Canada's not the USA. I know it's on the same continent, blah, 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 but I'm sorry, no, USA only. Sorry guys, and with that, I'm gonna get back to this, tap out all these holes, which is so time consuming, but it's gonna make this thing better. So let's get it done. So we just had a win. I got that stud out with this little extractor bit here, but man, was it a pain. It was stubborn and not coming out. Some more good news. is all of these holes I tapped out, and there's nothing wrong with the threads in all of them. Even the one with the stud that we just got out, the extractor, it looks like the threads are fine. It looks like the bolt was just over tightened and then snapped off in there. You can kind of see it bottomed out there and mushroomed, see that? So that's why that got so jammed and jarred in there. But yeah, otherwise we got this sucker out. Thank God. Good time to end tonight's shenanigans, I think. I can't remember if I told you, but I did pop in the new front main seal. We still got to pull down the front of the motor and stuff for timing and resetting all of that. Man, so time consuming, it's insane. I was hoping to have this finished and done, and I completely forgot about wanting to, you know, paint the rocker cover, and we got to obviously drill a hole and put the little oil return line into the sump. So there's no point putting this all back together if we just got to take it back off, because there is a little bit RTV you got to use in like corners and on the sump. This is actually all RTV'd here, and you just have the seals here, but you're not supposed to use heaps, obviously, just a little bead. But anyways, I'm gonna pack up everything, bag all my nuts and bolts and stuff like that, and then kind of cover this up with shop towels, put it aside, and then we'll pick this up, I guess, tomorrow. Or I don't know actually if we have anything more to do on this while we're waiting for, like, you know, sorting out the powder coating for the engine cover and the sump. But for now, at least, we'll just put this in the corner and let her sit. I'm just glad that we did this, because if we weren't going to do this, and let's say the rear main stopped leaking and I was like, sick, everything's fine, and then yeah, this engine probably would have blown with the amount of RTV that was just sitting in the pan and blocking up like the oil. I can't even speak right now, I'm so tired, but you know what I'm saying, the oil pickup, that's what I wanted to say. Far out, I'm wrecked. That's right, your boy Trucky SAMMIT is back. Don't worry, I learned my lesson the first time. We're waiting for those glow plugs. Boom, yeah. All right, gonna go to 7-Eleven, get some dinner. Probably not the best place to be getting dinner, but yeah, it'll do. You know, I've been in America too long when I literally just got a bunch of pizza rolls and pizza pockets, a random Italian sub, chocolate cupcakes, candy, and a big large Dr. Pepper. Oh boy, I got issues. Working on that weight gain. So heading home after my light shopping at 7-Eleven, and the tradition is whenever you're heading back to the Rodnock mansion is that you need to race there, and the first person to get there is the winner. There's no grand prize or anything, you just get bragging rights. And that's Alex there in the 240SX. It's a stock KA, and though he may be a veterinarian and be very good at getting home quickly, he doesn't know that I'm now a diesel brother. And we just loaded the race tune on this puppy, and she's just gotten up to temp, and your bro's ready to roll some coal. Oh yeah. Later! Yo, I whooped your ass.
I know.
I get bragging rights for that. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap up the video here, but I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely had a good time today fixing all the issues that we found in the car and all the problems that just kept unfolding with the engine as we stripped it down. And it's a really good thing to show you guys like why you don't just be lazy with these kinds of jobs. Always do things properly, go get the gasket, stop using like ridiculous amounts of RTV, you don't need it. If you do need it, something else is wrong, and you need to go and look at that and fix it. Don't take shortcuts, don't do that, please, because it's just gonna make your life harder, and potentially if we kept running the engine like that and started, you know, making power out of it, we would have had a lot of issues with oil pressure probably and killed the engine. Let's just be honest. So all of that aside, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you appreciate the effort I'm putting into this thing. I definitely feel exhausted after pulling that thing down and just playing with the razor blade for so long. Chris is playing Call of Duty, so anyways. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get your entries, samit.net/shop, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Ciao, Mata.